Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about a breastfeeding myth that just did me in. So I don't know if you've heard this, but a lot of people talk about breastfeeding like, hey, if you breastfeed, it's going to help you lose weight. And that's not entirely untrue, but it's not entirely true either because I am the heaviest I've ever been and I attribute that to my breastfeeding. Let me explain myself. So let's backtrack to early life Sandra. I will say that I've struggled with my weight all my life. I was a chunky kid and it just progressed as life went on. So clearly I didn't have the tools that I needed to have a healthy lifestyle and maintain a good weight. So that's a factor. I'm not saying that breastfeeding was the only factor, but we'll get there. And then in pregnancy, I actually lose weight with both my pregnancy, both my singleton, my daughter, and my twin boys. I guess it's typical for somebody who is overweight to lose weight in pregnancy, which I did. And for me, it was because I was so nauseous and I vomited several times a day up until the day I gave birth. Meat was disgusting to me, and the only thing I really could keep down was like cold produce. So that helped me lose weight. So after I have a baby, I look good. Flat stomach, my face is thinned out. I just look like a new person. It's amazing. And then breastfeeding happens. They say that breastfeeding itself burns about 500 to 700 calories because you're literally, your body is working so hard to produce this liquid gold for your baby that it burns that many calories, which is great. But if you're a person who is already eating in an excess of calories to the point where you have issues with maintaining a healthy weight, then you're not really burning enough still to lose weight and not gain weight, especially because you're sleep deprived. So you're sleep deprived and you're just trying to feed your body fuel because you need it for energy, and you're not really thinking about necessarily what you're putting in. At least that's for me. That's the case for myself. It was just survival mode. I eat whatever's there. What they don't tell you about breastfeeding, and I guess you should kind of guess this based on the fact that you do burn so many calories, is you're going to become ravenous. Like you literally feel like you could eat your baby. I'm just kidding, kind of. But no, I remember feeling hungrier while I was eating. Like I was literally getting hungrier during a meal. A meal that would normally be satiating to me is just at this point wasn't enough. And this is even embarrassing to share, but I'm going to. I was so hungry that I would pack snacks in my nursing pillow. So I had a breast friend nursing pillow, which are amazing, by the way. They make twin ones and singleton ones, and I seriously was obsessed with that pillow for so long. I'll link it below because it's just so good. But anyways, I digressed. I would put pepperoni and string cheese in the pocket so that when I woke up at 2 a.m., because that was like my favorite snack, and I just felt like I wanted to eat my baby, I would eat that instead. So that is basically the story of how breastfeeding made me gain weight. It just makes you so hungry. And I was not a very active person before having children, and I did not become active while I had 3 kids under 3, and I was breastfeeding all 3 of them. No part of me wanted to do anything more than sit there and breastfeed. That's all I could do. So I think it was a combination of one, not having the tools already to maintain a well-balanced diet. 2, being freaking exhausted and literally to the point where I didn't care about anything but making it through the day. 3, the hunger that comes along with breastfeeding. And again, back to number 1, not having the tools that I needed to satiate myself so that I felt full enough that I wasn't overeating past that allotted calorie amount. Because they do say, and of course I saw this and I ran with it, you can have an extra, 500 calories a day to make up for what you're burning. What I didn't take into account was I was in an excess of calories. I'm pretty sure they're talking about somebody who's already keeps themselves at a good calorie count so that they are maintaining their weight and not gaining weight. But I was like, oh, cool. And it's per baby. So here I am Like, I have 1,000 free calories to eat. I didn't, because I was already eating in excess of calories, right? So it's just, the more you know better, you do better. So I hope that my experience and how it made me gain weight helps somebody else learn what not to do when they're breastfeeding and what to be prepared for. Because seriously, like, people don't talk enough about the hunger that comes with breastfeeding. Honestly, that's why I have not really been posting on this channel, because I'm at my heaviest that I've ever been. When I record something and I play it back, I just do not feel confident in putting it out there to the world. But recently I've been like, you know what, like, this is who you are today. I'm working on taking care of myself, my mind, my body, my soul, and I'm in therapy. Well, I'm working on getting back in therapy. I'm medicated for my depression and anxiety. I need to start taking care of my body along with everything else. And that's what loving yourself to me means, right? Is treating yourself well. I do not treat my body well. I do not move enough. I do not eat healthy. I need to work on that. And until I do, I still want to follow my dreams, which is making this content for you and sharing this kind of stuff with the world. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you. And I hope you come back, because together is a beautiful place to be.